Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to Making Shapes Yoga. We are going down the road of the Samkhya Karika. I hope you will join me on this if you are new to yoga or if you are interested in yoga philosophy. Check this out. I'm attempting to do it every single Friday. I talk a lot about philosophy. This is the Samkhya Karika, a philosophical school that was built, if you will, somewhere around 3,500 years ago. No, 3,500 years ago by the sage Kapila. Verse 1 last week, on verse 2 this week. Verse 1 was about the three different miseries: internal, external, and divine. And we get a little expansion on this today. So in Karika 2, the translation is the revealed is like the evident one. It is linked with impurity, destruction, and inequality. Other than that is better, proceeding from the right cognition of the manifest, unmanifest, and the knower. All right, what the hell does that mean? All right, so if we break it down, really the first part is just referring to the first verse, right? The three miseries, the revealed, the three miseries is like the evident one, right? This is obvious, right? Suffering is going to happen, which I love, right? Buddhism, which is one of the so Samkhya is like one of the six orthodox schools. Buddhism, Jainism. Um, what else is in there? Maybe Sikhism as well is outside of those six orthodox schools, but built upon the philosophy of these six orthodox schools. So, we see some similarities here. This the misery that we incur, the suffering that we incur in life, is to be expected, essentially. Like, this is, all of life is suffering kind of thing. It's not that dire. It's not that depressing, that's for sure. So, and as a matter of fact, of course, these philosophical schools give us a map out of that suffering, and that's the thing, right? And Kapila is hinting at that Karika in this verse. So again, the revealed is like the evident one, right? We have these miseries or the suffering in life is going to happen. It is linked with impurity, destruction, and inequality. Ugh. I mean, it's kind of profound, really. When essentially Kapila is getting at when we ourselves are suffering, our desire to make others suffer intensify. Or if we see, especially in the age of social media now, it's like we see all these people doing wonderful things, and of course, only half of which is actually true, right? We promote that which is the best things in our lives, kind of omitting all the really depressing stuff. So don't be fooled, people, don't be fooled. And Kapila would probably say the same. Anyway, so we see inequality, right? And it's like, oh, well, this person has this. We make comparisons, right? And in those comparisons, we ourselves suffer, right? We cause our own suffering. Okay, so moving on, right? So we have some of the causes of these miseries, right? Impurity, destruction, and inequality, right? They're the causes, right? Yes, the effect, right? Yes, the effect of these miseries. These miseries cause us to, uh, bring about destruction and inequality and impurity. There you go. Other than that, so moving on, the second sentence here in the verse, other than that is better. I think it's like a fun translation. It's just better, right? So what is better, right? Of course, the Sankhya philosophy, the map, the roadmap out of it, proceeding from the right cognition of the manifest, unmanifest, and the knower. So right cognition, right? So each one of these orthodox schools essentially have a primary method of overcoming these sufferings, and one that we see over and over again is right cognition, reasoning, right? Reasoning. So going back to the example of social media, yeah, we see like all the wonderful stuff that people are doing all the time, but we should also know, we should also reason that, everybody suffers, right? Nobody is like escaping that at all. Um, so, gosh, maybe that's not the best way to put it, because ultimately we don't want to make comparisons with others, right? We want to like live our own life the way it is. And we obviously develop our relationships, our friendships, and so on. Um, and we, in this kind of lower reality, the manifest, as it's stated here, right? Cognition of the manifest, right? This is the manifest, right? We make comparisons within the manifest, within, that which we see and the world in which we deal with every single day. So we that right cognition, the ability to reason our way out of misery and towards a state of grace, or a state of lightness of being. So Kapila is touching on these kind of three states. The two primary states, the manifest and the unmanifest, are something that's going to come up over and over again. And it's probably useful that we start to recognize what they mean. As I mentioned, manifest oftentimes translates as material nature. The word prakriti is what is often used in Sanskrit. Prakriti, and we will see here in Samkhya philosophy, is that which has unfolded into this physical reality that we can see and perceive, touch, taste, smell, all that stuff. Right. And this is, of course, the world in which we live in, and the one in which we have to deal with. But there is something beyond it, right? There's something beyond that that is, imperceptible of sorts. That is the unmanifest, right? Of course, the manifest brings forth from the unmanifest. And yes, you can look at it from a very divine angle if you like. The unmanifest, the source of all things. This essentially can be realized in a state of deep meditation, right? Which is why, we see, practices to get our mind set in that basically traveling towards that place, if you will, um, to the unmanifest. So whether it's prayer, meditation, chanting, or something like that, right? That's our goal, is to attain is not a good word to use there, but to realize the unmanifest, that there's peace beyond the world that can cause suffering. And truly, that's like where the magic kind of happens, right? Because we get bogged down by this physical reality because it's what we know, it's what we deal with every single day, right? And that is a truth that just is unescapable, right? So be mindful of that. You get caught up in this physical reality mainly because that's what we're dealing with, right? And we oftentimes forget there's something beyond that can be a useful tool or a reality that is um, really a place where peace resides. Okay, and the knower. So just to complete the sentence here, other than that is better, proceeding from the right cognition of the manifest, unmanifest, and the knower. So the knower is the tool that we're going to end up using. Right? This is sometimes seen as our higher intellect, if you will. It's kind of the bridge between the manifest and the unmanifest, but it is a part of us that has the ability to recognize the difference between the two. Again, this is like a very high state of reason, one that is achieved through the continued practice of meditation, introspection, things of that nature. Okay. Well, just remember that any suffering that you do incur can be easily, I'm going to use that word pretty strongly, can be easily overcome by the realization of the unmanifest. I know. I'm not a psychologist or anything like that, right? This is just tools that I use every single day, um, to greater and lesser degrees, depending on the amount of suffering that I might be, kind of experiencing. And quite honestly, right now, the amount of suffering that I'm experiencing is quite intense. But there's so much in life to look forward to, right? There's so much in life. that we can look forward to. All right. Well, if you have any questions or comments, remember to subscribe too. But if you have questions, comments, please leave them in the comments section. I would love to hear from you. That's for sure. If you ever wanted to like, talk about stuff, message me. I'm always interested in kind of chatting about this, really wonderful, these wonderful schools of thought. All right. Well, everybody have a wonderful day. Be sure to take care of yourself and take care of others as well. Peace.